All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Albummer, the show where the writer's room and the talent of the YouTube show 2 Minutes to Late Night come together to listen to weird albums. They're just weird. There's not one album that we're going to listen to that isn't technically weird in some way. I'm Jordan Old. You might not recognize me because I do not look like the ghost of an assistant rabbi right now.
Oh, I'm America's sweetheart, Katie Rose Leon, and I learned a lot about what goes on under the boardwalk this week.
I'm America's nemesis, Emily Panic, and and it's fun time.
Oh, yeah.
That's right, baby. Let's go.
It's fun time.
Hi, I'm America's dad, Jeremy Hammond, and I don't know what we're doing on this website either.
It's just as big of a surprise to me.
Hi, I'm Lucy Steiner, and I'm America's baby. You gotta love me.
It's true. You have to. You can think the rest of us are mean, but you have to like Lucy.
Legally, you must care
Love
for
us.
Lucy.
Legally. You
Yeah.
have to love Lucy. But all right, folks, we've been saying the song titles from the album. We're listening
Sort of.
today.
We've been
Sort of.
trying
I
anyway.
didn't. I tried. Which, you know who else tried? Bruce Willis, when he sang like 11 songs for this album. So we're listening to The Return of Bruno by Bruce Willis, an album by Bruce Willis. And
You can't say it's not an album.
That's true. Legally, you can't.
You can't say legally.
It holds up in court. Your Honor, I present
Listen.
The Return of Bruno.
I'm not going to say that The Return of Bruno is not an album, but I am going to say that it is probably what would happen if you asked Billy Joel to play Prince's Batman soundtrack from memory.
Oh. You're a little bit off, but not that off. I have
Not too
so
far.
much to say about this album.
This album is what it would sound like if Margaritaville was not associated with Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah. Listen. For those of you wondering, this is pre-movie star Bruce Willis, where
That's right.
He was on TV and he was looking to make his next move. So this was gonna be the next move. He was not in Die Hard yet. So
Yeah.
if
Pre-Die
Die Hard,
this is post Moonlighting.
yeah,
Is this
Right.
post
That's it.
Death Becomes Her?
No.
No. This
Okay.
is before he's been in any like major motion picture except for like a couple of made-for-TV things.
That is
He's never been the
fascinating.
star of anything.
'Cause I was-
except for
Listening to this album, I was so sure that this is like the product of some like, big-headed, I've just done a few big movies, I can do anything.
Right. And that's
Yeah.
what's so confusing about it, because also, I don't know if you guys read the credits, but Booker T. Jones is on this album,
Yeah.
the Pointer Sisters, the Temptations.
the Temptations are on this album.
The
Yeah, how'd he book them
Temptations.
if he wasn't even a
Exactly.
name yet?
That's what I was wondering.
Lucy, before we get too deep into this, because it's fascinating.
It's
How do
happening.
you think this album happened?
Okay, I believe that Bruce Willis was kidnapped and forced to make this album at gunpoint. And I know this because in that, you know the song Jackpot? Where he plays
Sure do.
I sure do.
Better than My Own Family, probably.
during that little pre-roll fake out, which was on a lot of albums, the whole like, I was going to do it, now I'm not going to do it. Oh, now I'm going to do it. There is a man who is yelling at him to play
Right.
the song. It is not.
Yeah.
We're not talking about some like studio banter between two friends. This guy's going, play the song.
Are you
gotta do it.
Jackpot was performed at gunpoint by Hans Gruber with a knife.
I think that like Bruce thinks he's having fun. Like Bruce is like, I know when people joke around in the music studio or
Right.
whatever. That's right. It's called the music studio. But the fucking session musicians, like Booker T, is like, Dude, you have to
Play
sing
the
right
song
the
now.
fuck now. I have
This is not a
shit
bit.
to
This
do.
is not a bit.
Here's the thing. This album came out in 1988, right?
87.
7. Yeah.
87.
Because 88 is Die Hard.
So we are right in between Blues Brothers 1 and Blues Brothers 2. And like in the late 80s, early 90s, there was a really huge push for the return of like classic soul songwriting in popular media, like over and over again. It's like referenced in weird frat boy movies and all sorts of stuff. It later gave way to like the second wave funk, like, you know, George Clinton type shit. So
Right.
this album is like Bruce Willis doing a pitch perfect late stage career, like James Brown big band cover. Like
Pitch
it's
perfect?
no.
What is the definition of
not his
perfect?
performance. I mean the backing track sound. The
Yeah.
whole thing sounds like
Yeah.
living in Living in America. Is that track?
Yes. Totally.
Yeah.
It absolutely.
I'm not
sounds
saying-
like living in
I'm not
America.
saying it's good. I'm just saying. I'm saying it sounds exactly like what he wanted to sound like, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say the first hot take. I liked listening to this album.
I loved this album. Katie, I loved it so
It
much.
was compared to the shit you people have tortured me with for years, Emily excluded. But the rest of y'all have put me through my paces. And I would say this is one of the most listenable things you've ever assigned to me.
It's
That's
very fun. It's a
saying
very
a lot.
fun album.
I'm gonna straight up say, like, I really liked it. I had a lot of fun listening to it. I listened to it probably 10 times today.
I mean, I'm never
Bruce,
gonna
Jesus
voluntarily
Christ.
revisit it. Like, I'm not trying to listen to this album, but there's certain tracks that if I was drunk enough and you put this on, I'd be like, oh yeah, Bruno's here, baby. Like,
Well, this is
Bruno
all-
never
there's
left.
There's only like
IMO.
There's only like 3 original songs on this.
uh-huh.
That is the weird part to me, because it's like I got 3 ideas for songs, or maybe, but they're not. None of them are written by Bruce Willis.
No,
So,
I think
like-
I think he had a writing credit on some of them, but yeah, there's this guy that wrote them who also wrote he produced the Golden Girls theme song.
Oh.
Yeah,
Bruce Willis
That
had a
makes
writing
sense.
credit on Secret Agent Man.
that Golden
Dude.
Girls credit explains a lot, actually, because so much of this sounds like it's supposed to be playing over a montage of a
Right.
father
Yes.
and son meeting in an airport
Totally.
or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Or like
like the
dad
big-
getting his groove back in New Orleans.
yeah.
it sounds like the beginning of an 80s movie credit. Like, we're just like someone's like rushing through New York and they're like,
Yeah.
no, I spilled my coffee. Oh no, my Metro card.
Or we're just getting like
Metrocard, this is the
B-roll of City
80s.
Life.
Yeah. It's also like this album to me sounds like I haven't been watching. I watch Seinfeld like every night to go to sleep. And this is exactly what I would
The
imagine.
Jews lullaby, as they call
The
it.
Jewish listen. It's either Seinfeld or The Nanny. I just need Jewish complaining to sleep. That's how I feel at ease.
See, I
But-
watch Frasier because I love the tears of Gentiles that rock me to bed.
For sure. And it's so easy to get him to cry in that show. It's just like, oh
It
no,
happens
Dad.
a
I'm sorry
lot.
we ruined the baseball
You
game.
weep? Yeah. It's a really good imitation.
But this album sounds exactly like the saxophone player's band, like the saxophone player who won't go down on a lane. That's what his band.
Yeah.
This sounds like a saxophone player that won't, that does not eat the booty like groceries. That's what it sounds like.
I did notice that, like, while listening to this, the horns sounded sad to me.
And devoid of fecal matter.
It sounded like the object of the horns were depressed.
Oh,
Object.
Well,
The
you
horns
would be too
themselves.
if you were backing up Bruce Willis, probably.
I like how the whole thing sounded. It has that sound that overproduced 80s recordings have, where it almost feels like it's like done through a soft focus, the whole thing.
Yeah. 100%.
There's like 3 to 5 too many instruments on every track.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
Oh, they blew the whole Coke budget on that, like, Roland sampler or whatever. Like,
No, I feel like they had some money left for Coke. I think there's Coke.
There's always money left.
You're right. I'm sorry.
It's 1987. There's
money
always cocaine budget.
Is it Bruce Willis playing the harmonica on this album?
He does do it live.
They make it
But
seem
I-
like it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It seems like
and
it is.
I feel like that comes. Okay, I'm going back. I'm digging deep here, but I feel like that's a character trait for some of his movie characters later on, and I feel like that's like how Arnold Schwarzenegger is always trying to find a reason to smoke cigars in his movie because he just like really fucking likes cigars. So I think it's like Bruce Willis is like, "Hey man, I could play the harmonica here though," and they're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if
No,
my
we don't
character
need you
gets
to.
caught?
No, it's okay. You don't have to. He's like, no, I will.
"No, I can
Yeah,
do
but what if I
it."
get caught and I'm in a prison cell? I need
it's
something
in
for
my
me to do. I
rider.
need some sort of business.
He
How
gets
else
really
do I
mad. He's
convey
like,
that I'm sad?
it's in my rider. Okay, I'm playing the harmonica.
Well,
All right.
hold on. That reminds me. Can I say something?
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
That reminds me of what's that Australian actor's name who fucked up the Les Mis movie? Do you know what I'm talking
Hugh
about?
Jackman.
Oh.
Russell
Yeah.
Crowe.
Another
No,
one.
no.
Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
It's Russell
Yes.
Crowe.
Russell Crowe.
Hugh Jackman. It was great. He's great.
He's-
He's a Broadway actor.
yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful talent.
Russell Crowe has it in his rider that he gets to record a music video on the sets of every one of his movies. So if you Google it, you can see there's one from Master and Commander, there's one from Les Mis, there's one from Gladiator, and he has music
What?
videos with his
Oh my
band.
Wait, he has a
No
band?
Are they wearing the costumes?
Yes.
Oh, Russell Crowe has a band.
No,
Sure
don't do
does.
this to me.
What kind of band?
I don't know, a shitty one, but he has these like big budget music video. Well, I don't know how big budget it is because I think he just gets to record on the fucking sets of these big movies. So
That's
Yeah.
so funny.
Dude, you got to get him in a Fast and Furious movie then, because those
Right.
guys all have the contracts where they can't lose in fights. So like then you just always beat up.
You know,
You
I'm
always
actually
beat his ass up, and he gets to make a music
Right.
video.
I would
Exactly.
love to see Ludacris kick Russell Crowe in the face. That would
It would
be
be so fun.
just wonderful.
I've heard something similar to this. I've heard that for every Mark Wahlberg movie that he stars in, there's like a lost Funky Bunch album that doesn't get released. Because he'll get really frustrated on set and want to quit the movie, and he'll just start going like, "I got to get the Funky Bunch back together," and they'll record a whole album.
I'd heard that every Mark Wahlberg movie, Donnie gets a PA role.
Only on the ones where Mark is crying.
Yeah,
But here's the thing, guys. The return of Bruno.
The return of
Yeah, so why
Bruno.
is he Bruno? Is he like pretending to be Italian?
He has
I
an
don't-
alter ego.
it is an alter ego, but I don't know if you watched that video that I sent you with Don Johnson. There's an interview where Don Johnson is talking about how he met Bruce Willis when he was a bartender and he went by Bruno. And Bruce told him that he wanted to be an actor, so Don Johnson called him in to be in Miami Vice, and he was. So he made it sound like, and I don't know the validity of this story, but Don Johnson made it sound like he was going by Bruno and he was a bartender before he was an actor. And then Don Johnson put him on Miami Vice.
Hence the return to Bruno, because he's going
Right,
back to
right,
his
right.
roots, man, as a working class bartender.
Well, also the mockumentary, if you watched the whole mockumentary, The Return
I can't
of
say I
Bruno,
did.
It's just, well, I don't
Is
have
it
a
on
job,
HBO
as you know.
Max?
I just watched it on YouTube, but
Okay.
I think it originally was on HBO. But the whole thing is that it's like all these famous musicians, like Elton John is on there, Michael J. Fox is on there.
These tapes don't come close to the real Bruno. One day they'll have 3D hologram something. Anyway, you watch.
People just talking about how he came up, and it's like a music documentary where he's on American Bandstand, and then he has like his hippie phase, and they're just talking about what a great. act. Joan Baez is on there talking about, how Bruno was this like legendary act. So the return of Bruno is when he comes back and makes this album after having been a legendary rock act.
Yeah.
Great.
So really, he did walk hard before anybody.
Yeah.
What a high concept thing for someone who is relatively unknown.
Yeah.
I mean,
Three original songs.
Moonlighting was big, but it was like, I mean, it'd be like, I don't know, like one of the extras from like Modern Family decided to like take on a whole persona.
And getting Elton John involved and getting like all these famous people involved and on the album, that I don't understand.
I'm wondering if he knew somebody or...
It must be
Maybe.
the connective tissue there must be the Golden Girls guy.
Yeah.
Or
That has
Don
to
Johnson.
be who it is. Like he knows the Golden Girls person through his TV work, and the Golden Girls person knows all these musicians through music.
No,
that
the
has to
Golden
be
Girls
what it
guy
is.
worked for Motown Records, who put.
Yeah.
Well, so maybe I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Listen, the Golden Girls theme is a bop. I would not be surprised if this guy has some hits in his
He
catalog.
produced it. He didn't write it.
Oh,
Okay, then never mind everything I just said. Fuck that.
Still a bop though.
I do think that. All right, this album I found extremely listenable. It is not good, though. It's totally fine. Like Bruce, everyone else on the album is like good. There is all of that. Like there are too many instruments. There is a guitar that is just that is so like so clean that it's just like, why is there even a guitar on this track? You should have used another instrument. But all I could think of in this process is like, it's so funny how like almost every musician who tries acting eventually gets like pretty good at it and keeps going. There is not one actor who has like become famous for an actor and then tried music that has like
Interesting.
successfully done it. I was thinking about it. There isn't
It's because
one.
they're shells of human beings.
Yeah.
I guess the closest one would be Donald Glover. would
What's
be
her
the-
face?
Right.
Jenny Lewis.
Oh yeah,
She
she
was
was a
an
child
actress?
actor.
She was
Yeah,
in
she was in,
Troop
like, 80s
Beverly
movies.
Hills, man. She and Cape Fear.
Jenny
She's the
Lewis was in
Right.
Cape Fear?
She's the daughter in Cape Fear.
Unreal.
No, that's Juliette
Child-
Lewis.
Well, that's who I mean.
Oh yeah, no, Jenny Lewis. I was gonna be like Jenny Lewis, and Jenny Lewis is just good. Juliette Lewis and the Licks are pretty good.
Wait,
fine.
who? Okay.
Jenny
Maya
Lewis is from
Rudolph.
Rilo Kiley.
Aren't they both in a band? Now
Yeah.
I'm feeling stupid as shit.
And yeah, you're right. They both were child actors.
Juliette, well, Jenny Lewis is not a child actor.
Jenny Lewis from Rilo Kiley?
Okay,
looking
I
it
don't know
up.
where we are.
I'm looking it up.
Is that not her name? Is Jenny Lewis not the singer of Rilo
Jenny
Kiley?
Lewis from Rilo Kiley
Yeah,
was
that's-
a child
that's Jenny
actor.
Lewis.
Yes.
Yes, thank you, producer.
Thank you. I knew I didn't make. Believe me when I say things.
Well, you
Don't
you
make me
talking about-
question
Believe
it.
Katie.
You were-
Platform Katie voices.
Platform Katie, she mispronounces everything, but we get the gist. We know what she's trying to say.
You just said you.
Jenny Lewis is not the daughter in Cape
It was
Fear, though.
Yeah,
so.
you.
I know,
That I don't know.
Juliette
I-
Lewis.
We're just
Well,
trying to hold you accountable, Katie.
they
we
both
just want you
have
to do better.
bangs. It's confusing.
Do
It's
better.
an accountability process.
I thought Elliott Smith was in the Smiths until like 2 years ago. Okay?
I thought Elliott Smith was in
Morris-
Juno.
Morrissey Smith. They all. They're like the
Leave
Ramones.
me be.
Exactly.
I'm just trying to be part of the conversation before my internet cuts me out again.
Oh, what about Zoe Deschanel? We're past
Get the
this.
fuck out of here.
No, but Donald Glover would probably be the best example, right? Because
Yes.
Donald Glover
Yeah.
started as an actor and now is like not even
A
acting anymore. It
successful-
seems like, or yes, he is.
Yeah.
He's making
He is.
Atlanta, and it's very good.
Yeah.
He's
So
a
good.
media
Quits
mogul.
both he like quits each. He was like, I'm not acting anymore. I'm a musician, and then he's like, this is my last album, and now I'm
Yeah.
acting forever.
Well, and he's
Really?
like at that stage of like an RPG where he just has all of the gear now and he can just like do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't seem like anything is stopping him from making whatever he wants.
Yeah,
It's true. It is a very much like, what do you want to do? Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be
Whatever.
great. Oh, cool. Yeah,
It's gonna be critically lauded. You got it.
yeah. Everybody's gonna absolutely love it, and they're gonna be right too. Awesome, great.
Dude, yeah, he's kind of like the opposite of David Lee Roth, where he has a lot of ideas, but all of them he's going to succeed at.
Yeah,
He's like David
Sort
Lee
of the
Roth
opposite
also
of
was.
Bruce Willis in a way.
Yeah, I guess I don't like. Yeah, Donald, but yeah, good shout, Jeremy. So all right, Donald Glover aside, it just hasn't really happened that way, and I think
Yeah.
that's very
Yeah.
funny.
and
it's
these
at
other
least it's
examples
much more
we
common the
brought
other
up.
way around.
I
But-
guess.
You know, it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
that common. I'm just being a shit. But
I mean, Bradley Cooper won a Grammy, so
what?
Oh, for Shallow?
didn't he write that with? I've never seen the movie.
I've never seen that.
Okay.
What is
Never mind.
happening? You know, you can't have it all, pretty people. Just pick a lane. You
It's-
get
Yeah.
one thing,
I
It's
agree.
true.
and
if
then
you're attractive, you
stick with
can't-
it.
Stop playing music. We need that.
Yeah, or you can be one of the things. You can be an actor. You can be a musician.
No, only acting.
You can be somewhat personable, but you only get
Definitely
one.
not comedian. Definitely not comedian.
Oh no, hot people.
get outta here.
Yeah. Little.
Stay out. Stay in your lane.
Don't worry. When I see people identify as that on Tinder, my pussy dries up immediately. So carpets just roll right up. It's like one of those fancy blinds you pull too hard down. I'm so tired. Can we
Oh
say
my God.
pussy on Giant Bomb?
I think so.
I think so.
Do they let you say
Lucy-
pussy here? What if I say fake gamer pussy? Sorry, I'm sorry.
Katie's good when she's tired.
Sorry, everyone.
Lucy,
Can we deprive Katie of sleep like this every week?
Yeah.
this is the new theme of the show. It's not bad albums that we say something nice about. Now it's the show where we keep Katie up for 48 hours. Just see what happens.
I got my Coca-Cola. Let's go.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Let's keep going.
Gotta go
Here's
fast.
a fun thing. Here's a fun thing that's unrelated, but just in the realm of Bruce Willis having a passion project, which, by the way, I want to say that my first thought when I was listening to this album and I was anticipating everybody hating it, I was like, if I was fucking rich and famous, I would I would be dropping so many passion projects. I'd
Yeah.
be putting so much money into bullshit that,
Yeah.
I would be
Like, the
doing
whole
what he's
point
doing.
of being wealthy is getting to do whatever the fuck you want, right? Like, why
Exactly.
not?
Exactly. But I don't know if you know that Bruce Willis basically bought a town in Idaho. Did any of you read about that?
No.
No.
I know he owns
So-
a wine bar.
No, I
in,
live for this
in,
shit.
Like the Lower East Side or something.
Emily,
So-
go
Who
on.
gives a shit about the wine bar? He has a town?
Yeah.
He did have a town. Basically, when him and Demi were together and they were just like the hottest shit in Hollywood, they were like, oh, we need to get our burgeoning family away from the prying eyes of Hollywood. Let's just find some quaint town. And it was this rundown old mining town, and they bought like everything. They invested like shit tons of money into a nightclub that was called the Mint Club. They put millions of dollars into it. They put millions of dollars into a theater, renovating a theater.
Oh my
I think he owned a real estate company, and it's this whole thing. And I read this. There's an article in the Independent about it, and apparently, like, he tried to stop the press from reporting on this, and press would go to this town in Idaho to try to report on it, and like his employees allegedly would like follow them around.
Dressed up like Ghost Miner 49ers.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa.
Get
Rich
out of
person
this town.
Scooby-Doo mystery. I love it.
I that's way cuter than what I was gonna say. I'm like, oh, like when they break into those like Mormon compounds.
Oh, well, also like how the eBay employees did to that one blogger.
My fantasy for how a town like
Time
that.
out.
Time out.
Sorry, let me just get this dog under control. I'm so sorry.
Do camera check.
All right, second sticks.
Second sticks.
Emily, we just want to take a minute to thank you for all the detective work that you do for this podcast. You're like the Nardwuar of the show. What the fuck,
Thank
man?
you so much. As I mentioned before, I don't have a job.
This is solid sleuthing that you do.
Yeah.
But to conclude this, the chapter on the town in Idaho, there's a lot of people that were really pissed, a lot of the residents, because apparently he was a tyrant to work for. He would he took so many losses on all of these businesses that he invested shit tons of money into. And then he would pay for people's drinks at the club or have them free at the theater. But then apparently he took it out on his employees, allegedly.
I believe it.
And then
Believe it.
one day he just pulled out of the town. He just divested from the town.
Oh,
and just
no.
left.
Ugh.
Did he devastate them?
Willis Flight.
God.
I don't know if I don't think they were devastated, but I think it did have an effect on the town.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah.
My
So-
God. My fantasy for how a Bruce Willis Idaho town would work is that he does build all these things, but only him, Demi Moore, and their children can use them.
Right.
That was what I was
means-
picturing.
Yeah,
Empty
That means
town.
Bruce Willis has to take tickets at the movie theater so that Demi Moore
From his wife. His
builds
daughters line up, and then he just takes their tickets, and then they go inside, and then he runs up and he operates the whatever.
Or it's a normal theater, but it only runs productions that him or Demi Moore were in together. So it's
It's just G.I. Joe over and over again.
the dance club
Just-
only plays Return of Bruno.
Yeah, he just built himself a Truman Show nightmare. Put him.
I mean, it
Damn,
kind
I
of
got a
did
great idea.
though.
What if we
Yeah.
invest? What if we invest all of our money in a little town and we just kind of live our lives in a Twilight Zone episode?
This is a different show, but I love celebrity freaky deaky stuff like that. There's such something happens to your brain when you get that rich. It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's very chill.
Yeah, very chill. Like Barbara Streisand in her indoor mall that she lives in. So fucking weird.
And her cloned dogs.
Multiple cloned dogs.
Yes, and the Streisand effect, which is named after her, because she didn't want because the Coast Guard took pictures of her coastal property and put it up on their website, and nobody knew that her house was photographed. But then she made a big stink out of it because she didn't want people seeing her house, and then. And that was the Streisand effect. She called attention to her house that nobody would have noticed before. So thank you so much. She's given us so much.
That's
Love
all.
you, Babs.
But now we gotta talk about Bruno's return of Bruno, and I specifically like to address how horny it is for something that
It's
is
very
so
horny, yes.
incredibly. It's so horny, but it's like Billy Joel horny, where
Yeah.
it's isn't it sexy how I wear these jeans up to my pecs and I'm wearing big puffy white sneakers, baby?
It's chorny. That's corny and horny together.
Yeah.
Oh my
Interesting.
God, you're the smartest person. And you don't even have a job.
Employ me, someone.
Oh, shit. Yes, this album's so chorny, dog.
Yeah.
This album has big 90s blazer energy for sure.
Oh,
The shoulders are so big.
Yeah. It's mostly shoulders.
there is a video of him wearing a hat, and the bill is this long, and I'm not exaggerating. That's a real thing if you watch the documentary.
Drew, can you do a little picture-in-picture here of the hat, Bill? I think it's important. But
It is.
yeah, the first song, was it called Order Up or You Got
Yeah.
It, Brother,
Coming right
or
up.
some shit? Coming
right up.
right up.
Right up.
It's
about,
coming right up.
He's kind of singing, but it's kind of like a spoken word journey about him serving you
Drinks?
it's like a
I
it's
think
like
he's a bartender.
it's a
in the-
POV.
I think it's drinks, yeah. And he's like talking to everybody in like this weird, like somewhat sexual, but also somewhat like boomer trying to be cool sort of way where he's like, hey, Jazz Daddy, how about a bourbon and Coke?
Yeah, it's a real like ASMR.
What's up, brother man? Can I get you a gin and tonic?
It's real like
Jazz Daddy.
ASMR. Bruce Willis serves you drinks and confuses what year it is. Like, it's very just like, and then like, there's parts like, baby, where are you going? I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, it's very, but then he keeps going, what, they're coming right up, right?
Yeah, coming right
up, and it gets more and more sexual. And I'm like, I don't like dinner metaphor around the bone zone. It's just gross.
Okay, because that's actually my kink. So
Right.
Oh.
Dinner.
dinner.
Yeah.
That's what I always pictured was going on in like the old Bugs Bunnies when they put him in the cauldron with like the carrots and shit. Mm-hmm. It always seemed like a
You
little
can't see
sexual.
what's happening below the surface of that soup.
You can't see.
I mean,
But he loves it.
there's something for
His-
everybody, man.
His vulva with everything on it.
Oh, oh God, the worst lyric of all time. Jeez.
Gotta be.
But
We're gonna have to do that album on. There was a Lulu reference, everybody. We're gonna have to do it.
We're gonna have to do it.
We're gonna have to.
I don't ever want to listen to that again.
Too bad. Too bad. That's the show.
Sweat.
That's the show.
What was
Fuck it
that other song where he yells at the lady to get in the car?
Is that the
I
one where
know
he's
that.
like, there's a father that's beating him up or something for beating his daughter?
Is that Young
Yeah.
Blood?
Yeah.
Yes, Young
Oh,
Blood.
yeah.
Youngblood.
Where it's like, you fucking my daughter, I'm smacking you around. He's like, oh, don't hit me, Dad. Hey, get in the car, sugar tits. Or like,
Don't hit me, Jazz Daddy.
That song also. Youngblood also has the funniest Bruce Willis vocals on it, I think.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
because he does
Yeah.
the Muppet voice. He starts going like, I'm Bruce Willis, and now I'm Bruce Willis.
Well, so this is something I wanted to bring up about this album is part of what I really enjoyed about it is that it sounds like it's being played by an animatronic band at like a novelty
Oh
restaurant.
yeah.
And like those are the times where it's like the most noticeable that you're like, these are puppets. This is a puppet of Bruce Willis.
This is a ride at Disney World. This is
Yes.
a ride at the version of Disney World that Bruce Willis built in Idaho in 1994.
Yeah, you're on like
Yeah,
it's a
Bruno's
small world,
world.
like
Yeah.
little boat in like but it's like a river of bourbon. And it's like
Yeah.
him being like, hey, Jazz Daddy-O, come on into my ride.
Welcome to Bruno's world.
I have a question for the group. What did he think he was portraying? Like, what
Yeah,
was
I
the
wonder.
goal of this persona versus what actually came out?
Did he think he was cool? Did he think this was like gonna like
I
Like, did he-
sort of think he did, and that's because I watched at the end of the documentary, they have him performing these songs live, and he is just having a blast. He's got the hat with the fucking bill. At one point, he's got those like white shutter shades, and he's wearing like a white robe. But he is just fucking going for broke. He's got backup singers. He's got
Yeah.
a horn section. There's like a huge crowd. He is.
Dude, then shouts
Loving it.
out. Honestly, that rules.
Yeah.
If that's what like the energy of this truly is, then I love you, Bruce.
Well-
I'm so happy you made this.
I know he was coming off of Moonlighting, which was like a detective show. Like, is this supposed to be like a noir
yeah,
character, or is this like, or is he like a cool jazz cat? Like, I couldn't quite.
He's a cool jazz cat.
Yeah.
He's
He's
not
a
like
jazz
cleaning
cat.
a glass and saying like, "Yeah, I seen the guy was in here Tuesday night." Like that's not the character he's playing in this. This guy has never seen anybody before.
Well,
Yeah, I thought
sometimes
it
he
was
has. And then he did the cover of
Under
like
the boardwalk.
he sure did that. But he did a cover of like "Welcome to Hollywood" or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hollywood.
Right.
Will you leave
Hilarious.
without your knees? And everyone
Right.
beats the shit out of you. And I was like, it's 1987. What are you talking about?
Well, it
Oh
wasn't
my
great
God.
there, but I mean, yeah, that Under the Boardwalk cover though was particularly disturbing to me.
Yeah, because the intro is like, it's like a bunch of his bros are hanging out under the boardwalk. I thought that's like where you took your lady to do some
Well,
necking or whatever.
yeah.
Yes, it absolutely is.
Were they waiting to to swap? Like, I don't understand.
We're selling H under the boardwalk.
What does it sound like at the beginning? It's like the organ sound that they play that song with is like, it's a TV show theme, but I can't think of which one. It's like, what's the one that's like boom boom gung 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 gung?
Law and Order.
No, Law and Order.
Law and Order. It sounds like the Law and Order organ.
And also, the seagulls in the beginning sound like Oasis is going to start playing. Like, it's the same exact sound. And like, maybe my brain's just infected because I just watched the Oasis documentary with my partner, and now all we can do is listen to fucking Oasis all the time, which is really just horrible, and you shouldn't do that to each other.
Anyways, Jazz Daddies, here's Wonderwall.
Yeah. Here's Under the Boardwalk. Maybe it's the boardwalk in Providence, which would make it an all-men's boardwalk, which I feel like...
That's true, yes.
Do you mean Provincetown?
Yes, that's what I meant. That is what I meant. I meant...
Why does he... There's one line in that song, and I'm sure it's in the original too, but I'm not as familiar with the original. But there's a line where he says, like, you can almost smell the hot dogs under the boardwalk.
Yes!
Which is like, the hot dogs, I think we can all agree, the hot dogs are on top of the boardwalk. You're not going under the boardwalk to get hot dogs. That's so sketchy.
He's talking about dicks.
It is the P-Town boardwalk then.
It almost seemed like he was trying to make it funny on purpose. Like, was this supposed to be for the kids? It's like something for the kids.
I don't know, but he is giggling throughout the album.
Yeah.
There's so many tracks where he's like, yeah, you know, like he's like singing and he has a little chuckle to himself.
He's having a great time.
I'm like,
He's a giggly
having
little bitch.
so much fun. He is. He is. This is the happiest I've ever seen Bruce.
yeah. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Looks good on him.
Yeah,
This
he
is-
should have kept doing this.
Yeah, I know. This
He
is him.
does. He does another album.
He
He
does?
should do a cover of the Law and Order theme song and put
But
lyrics
it's
to
just
it.
him going, do, 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 do.
Yeah, I love this for him, man. I wish he just kept on, like, made like dozens of records and, like, I don't know, like, inspired more people. I wish more celebrities did shit like this.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
I do. I really do. I
Well,
wish
but-
more celebrities had some fucking fun.
Well,
It would keep them
because-
from doing stand-up, hopefully.
yes.
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
rather
Like
them
making
do
like
that.
the Imagine video and like, you know, like have an outlet for this shit.
Right. Have a full-on persona. If you're gonna dip your toe in, just jump all the way through that door.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Make a mockumentary.
That's why I loved Crispin Glover. He was like,
Yeah.
Crispin Glover made an album, and it was this full-on,
yeah.
like, new wave nonsense, and it had, like, his phone number on the back of it, and you used to be able to call, and it went to, like, a weird answering machine. And, like,
He's a true freak.
oh, I know. I love a freaky, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like actors, if, you know, just do your music project, but go balls out, get very weird. Don't try to make anything for anyone but yourself, because ultimately that's all it's for. So like,
Yeah.
get weird. Who
so
cares?
many actors just go into it like playing it way too safe and like creating like a record that should be sold at like a Starbucks or whatever, and it's not
Right.
even that it's not even that their albums are bad. It's just like there's no anything
Yeah.
on it.
There's
And
no
even
character
though-
to it.
And even though I do think I think that it's bullshit that there are only like 3 original songs on this, I'm still like, that makes me mad because I want it all to be chaotic Bruce.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
still is when he's doing the covers, but it's like you couldn't fucking just make up some other bullshit.
I don't know. Can we talk
For the
about
rest of
the Secret Agent Man cover? Because that was particularly bananas.
I loved it.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Absolutely
Good.
loved it.
That's probably my favorite song on the
Playing
album.
James Bond
Same.
at the like, just he doesn't give a fuck when they're doing that cover. He's like, listen, the song is about James. We're not gonna not play James Bond at the beginning. What are you crazy?
It's the funniest addition to this because it's like the only type of role he's never played. Like he's never been like anything close to a James Bond before.
No, what
true.
are you talking about?
No,
He's been like John McClane.
He's an agent all the time.
Yeah,
No,
but
he's
he's
always a
like
cop
the rough,
or like
like
a-
Yeah, he's always like the guy who's like begrudgingly there or trying to leave the
Yeah,
force or protect
he's got
his
no
family.
shoes on.
Yeah.
He's never like the debonair, like
Exactly.
No.
like waspy combed
like
hair,
suave. Yeah.
Yeah, imagine him
Right.
like going to the bar and he's like in a tuxedo and they're like, "What can I get you, sir?" And he's like, "Beer, regular."
But
This is my date, pussy, regular.
dude. Regular.
Yeah. This is my date, Sonic the Hedge Puss.
So Devo does a cover of this song too, and when they do it, it's like very twangy and nerdy, and it's funny because I almost feel like this matches that energy in the sense that it feels like he's like doing an imitation of what a child would do with a cover of this song. Like the synths are so bombastic and like it's really straight, and it's a little more swingery than the other tracks on this. All the other tracks on this are trying to be like, no one talks about the blues anymore. But this
Right.
this track was very much
Corny
like
blues meets lounge.
yeah.
You know what it is, Katie? The energy that you're describing is he's single on all the other tracks and like fucking around. In this, in Secret Agent Man, he's married and fucking around. Like he's at a party. In
Oh
that
my
song.
god, you're so right. It's married guy holding up a prop of a large beer and going, "Honey, I had just one."
Lucy, what type of person is Bruce married to in the Secret Agent song?
Oh my god. I feel like she is like probably like his wife is probably like a distant cousin of his. Like maybe like cousin twice removed. And you know, like she works hard. She works a couple of jobs to support him because she knows that being a secret agent man is really his passion. And it
He's
doesn't
just
make a lot of
grinding it
money.
out at the
He's one
Secret
of the
Agent
less-
mics.
He's one of the lower earning secret agent men.
He's just starting to break into the club circuit for Secret Agents.
Sometimes he can't even get a seat at the casino table, you know?
He's
He's taking
Secret
smaller
Agent
Secret
bringer
Agents
shows.
with him to get rides.
Oh, I heard
He's
he
got
had
a
to do the
canvas.
secret agent triple run and he got abandoned in a casino in North Dakota with nothing but a pen gun and $10.
Listen, honey, just one more year. I got invited to Just for Agents.
Okay. Well, what a Bruno, what a return.
Just for Agents. Oh, man.
Oh, fuck. Okay. All right. Anything else, guys?
It's a great album. I really
It's
recommend
fun.
it.
Give it a listen.
Yeah. I'm glad I listened to it at least once.
Yeah.
I
had
think
a very good time.
everyone should listen to it once. 10
It's good
times
cooking music.
seems like a lot. But
I listened to it on the subway ride home, and I was mortified that someone looked over and saw what I was listening to. But you know what? It's still a fun listen.
That's
I
part of
was
the
listening
thrill.
to it cooking dinner tonight, and my wife came down from putting our son to bed and was like, started snapping her fingers. She's like, "What is this?"
much like with being under the boardwalk, part of the thrill is getting caught. You know?
All right.
All right, guys, let's do best tracks, worst tracks. Katie?
I think my favorite track is Jackpot parentheses Bruno's Bop. It's just like out of all the original songs, it's the most unhinged. It's like totally like if you want the distilled experience of this album, that's the one you gotta listen to.
Bruno's Bob, dude.
And yeah, I think Under the Boardwalk was my least favorite. It was memorable,
so much joy.
but it was gross. It made me uncomfortable.
Oh man.
You can almost smell the hot dogs.
Almost. Not
Almost.
quite. You're not that lucky. You're not that lucky.
I love that that's his like boardwalk or like festival treat smell. Oh, it smells like hot dogs, you know?
Right.
The car.
Smells like a
good
dirty
smell.
water dog, bro.
Not
Really
funnel
painted
cake.
a lurid picture with that one.
Yep.
I think my favorite track is Down in Hollywood. Or Coming Right Up actually might be the best track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a strong opener.
It's a strong opener. As somebody who was I was a bartender for many years, I was like, he gets it.
Man.
Really brought me back.
This
And
guy's
Yeah,
mixed
I
up
remember when
bourbon
you
rocks
bartended
before.
at Max Fish and you were giving everybody finger guns, saying "What's
classic
up,
me.
Jazz Daddy?"
all the time. Bruce actually, he studied under me. I sort of taught him everything
He was your
knows.
bar back.
Yeah, he was my bar back coming up on the scene. I think my least favorite is also Under the Boardwalk. It's a very strange choice for a cover song.
Yeah.
Especially because when it opened, I was like, wait. Who's Under the Boardwalk? It's the other dudes in the band. The Temptations are under the boardwalk, like calling out to you. What are they doing there?
Singing under the boardwalk.
They're giving
Yeah.
some really chafy hand jobs, I'd imagine.
Really sandy ones.
Yeah, it's like, ooh.
Sand jobs.
I know I'm not in this episode, but I feel like I have to point out, Jeremy, that the song Under the Boardwalk is about them being under the boardwalk, and that's where they smell the hot dogs. They don't make the hot dogs under the boardwalk.
We understand, Drew, but what's
I understand,
the
but the
likelihood
phrasing. It's the phrasing, Drew.
of the hot
Words
dogs
matter, Drew. Words matter.
wafting under the board?
If it was there, then they would smell the hot dogs, not almost smell the
Also,
hot dogs.
scent and heat rises, so it would be going away from them.
You're right. That's scientifically inaccurate. They wouldn't be able to almost
Scientifically,
smell
you
the hot
cannot
dogs.
smell something that's above you. It's impossible.
Drew, when you put
Maybe
in
that's why he says.
a graphic to represent your talking voice, can you just put your face over pregnant Goku?
I'm going to put my face on
Or-
a talking hot dog.
Oh, that's good too.
Yeah.
Like the old Snapchat hot dog.
Oh, yeah, the horny guy with the
one.
headphones.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say I gotta agree with everybody. The worst song absolutely is Under the Boardwalk. Tie game for my favorite song, which is literally every other song. I had a wonderful time listening to this. An even better time talking about it. I feel just
I
like
feel great.
light as a feather. I feel fantastic.
Yeah,
Woo!
I feel like Bruno made me a drink. Lucy.
But I gotta say, the funniest possible outcome to this would be if it turned out that Bruce Willis was only ever a bar back.
He was never actually a bartender.
He never made it to bartender.
Oh my god! And this is just like an extended weird brag that he
It's
did.
like a fantasy. Like all he's
Yeah,
ever done
what
is bus empty glasses, but he just envisioned himself being the charismatic bartender who's like, I got it. You're regular, you got it. Like
Got it.
shaking it up.
You got
What
it.
can I get for you, sweet lips? Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, he never got to do. Well, maybe he was a bartender, but it was only at like a beer and wine license
Or
place.
at his
Oh, yeah, he
club
never got to mix.
in Idaho.
All I'm saying
his
is-
club in Idaho is where he lived out all his fantasies. He was the bartender, and he put on that persona.
and he can never
Yeah.
live that now because now Bruno is straight up canceled. He's a very, very pushy bartender.
Yeah, 100%. I knew. Yeah, that's the thing. It was weird listening to an album where I'm like, I can hear the sexual assault.
Oh, but it's Bruno, baby.
Yeah, Bruno definitely lost that job.
But
yeah.
his ride home that night, smoking.
Lucy.
There had been Yelp reviews at that time. It wouldn't have been good. Sorry.
No. Lucy. What do you got?
Well, I didn't hate Under the Boardwalk as much as everybody else. I guess I'm conditioned to Under the Boardwalk. I don't question its logic. I don't find it disturbing. I sang it in an a cappella group one time.
Okay.
Okay.
That explains a lot.
You were raised under we but adopted the boardwalk. You were raised under it.
You were born into it.
I think my least favorite song was Youngblood. I found that pretty disturbing.
Yeah.
And then for my favorite, it's a tie between Secret Agent Man and I also really liked Respect Yourself. I thought the woman on it did a really great job. I thought he did a good job.
It's one of the Pointer Sisters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, the Staple Singers, not the Pointer.
Oh, it's one of the Staple Singers? Wow, I didn't know that. All right.
Wild.
Jordan, what's your favorite and least favorite?
Well, thank you, Emily. My favorite is probably a tie. It's a tie between Coming Right Up and Secret Agent Man because I was so surprised when I heard like the bars of James Bond. I was like, what the fuck? But also the opener to this album, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to have a wonderful time.
Yeah.
My least favorite song on the album is Flirting with Disaster, the last one.
Oh, yeah. That one was...
Well, number one, because, yeah, it just was kind of like like the album went out with a whimper. But also because when I realized everything was a cover, I was like, oh, I guess every song on this is a cover. Oh my God, he's going to sing Flirting with Disaster, the crazy Southern rock song. And it wasn't that. And I was like,
Not a cover.
Bruno, you coward. The fuck? It would have been really funny.
It would have.
But yeah, all in all, the most like listenable album we've done on the show. So fun.
Yeah.
Genuinely funny. It's exactly what I want from a weird album, which is
I
to be
prefer
weird.
Jugulator, P.S., but this is, yes, also listenable.
I would say it's a tie between those two for me. I would probably re-listen to Jugulator just because Judas Priest as a band always sounds great. But in terms of this album tortured me so much less than anything. It was not a painful experience. I didn't have to get up and pace around.
It was short.
It was short. Oh.
Does anybody one song that you'd like to have seen on this album? One
As a
cover.
cover?
A cover.
Yeah.
Bad to the Bone.
I'll even start. Bad to the bone. Good shout.
Oh my God.
He
The
would have
Boys Are
loved
Back in
that
Town.
too.
Boys Are Back in Town could work.
Boys are
yeah.
back in town.
That would work.
On harmonica.
I was gonna say Goldfinger.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's a
I
good
love
one.
rock and roll by Church.
Yes. Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Pour Some Sugar on Me.
I
Oh my
don't know if
God.
that song was written yet, but yes, I do want to do that.
I
This
would.
is a thought exercise, Jordan.
Bruce, come back.
I
Come
would
back.
love
We
to
need
see
you
him
more than
sing Pour
ever.
Some Sugar.
It'd be incredible.
Does he have Twitter? Can we all tweet at him?
Yeah.
We want
Listen,
another return of
Hey,
Bruno.
Bruno.
I think
I
we
want
need.
a
Bruno, we need
performance.
more.
I want a live performance of this album. I will be there with bells on.
Please leave the poor industry gay that runs his Twitter account alone.
I will not.
All right, let's do plugs, everybody. We're getting out of here. Jeremy.
Wow. Find me on Twitter at Jeremy Thunder and check out my podcast. It's called Generation Loss and it's about the movies.
Wow.
Ooh.
You can find me at Twitter at Katie Rose. And please listen to my other podcast about Dragon Ball Z. It's called Ballin' Out Super. Anime.
You can follow me on Instagram at @Steinbach, and you can catch me sometimes on the podcast Pump. And I do stand up and stuff.
Yeah.
I love how
Hell yeah.
succinct that podcast name is. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at A Pretty Big Mouth and see me do stand-up sometimes and listen to my other podcast. It's called Ghosts to Show You. The new season starts on Halloween. It's spooky.
Ooh, perfect.
Ooh. We love it. We love it. Please go to 2minuteslatenight.com for all 2 Minutes to Late Night related stuff. That's where you can find our YouTube channel, our social media, our merch. Buy yourself a shirt. They're spooky, just like Emily's podcast.
I'm scared.
You can also follow me on Instagram at Wiener Herzog. That's it. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.